No Nut November is coming up in a couple days, and I want to help you out, especially if you're struggling with no FAP in general, let alone No Nut November, with some advice that may be controversial to a lot of other self-improvement YouTubers. They may talk against this because you're still indulging in the degenerate content. But as a stepping stone, it was something that really helped me out and stopped me watching degenerate content as a whole. And that is watching the degenerate content as you normally would, but without touching yourself, without touching, touching a little pee downstairs, right? Because and you may be thinking to yourself, well, what's the point? If I'm watching it anyways, I may as well like touch myself, right? I'm basically just like mentally edging myself, right? But the point is it's progress, right? Would you rather watch degenerate content for like 10 minutes and not touch yourself, and you're only watching it for 10 minutes because like after you've just been only watching it for so long, you get bored. You can't release, you can't express yourself to the degenerate content. So it's like, I can't even touch myself. I'm just going to stop watching. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something more productive. Whereas if you did just allow yourself to touch yourself, right, you're going to be just edging. You're going to be watching that degenerate content for hours, bro. I remember my degenerate days, bro. I'd be in the bathroom. I'd be in there for like almost an hour, just like the degenerate things, man, just edging, and it was not good times, man. So, and although I definitely feel like you should be taking my previous advice before this, like you should not be watching degenerate content at all, and it's really not that hard to not watch this content if you if you really want to overcome an addiction. A lot of the time it's not actually that hard. It's just about how much you want it. So you need to try things like going outside, hanging out with friends, getting a job, just keeping yourself occupied throughout the day to give you other life problems. So and other things going on in your mind, so you're not just thinking about porn, right? But if it comes down to, if it's like a midnight, right, and it's nighttime, you've got everyone's asleep, you can't go outside because it's dark, you don't want to go outside and get robbed or something, right? You may live in a rough area, who knows? Then you're going to find that is the most vulnerable time, when that lower voice will come to you, right, and say, bro, come on, bro, watch some porn, bro, just do it, man. Like, one more porn session won't hurt, but it will. Obviously, like, in the short term it's going to feel great, but in the long term it's gonna kill you, right? So obviously you should take my previous advice I was talking about in my last No FAP video of just leaving the house and going outside, because like, I bet you any money most people with no FAP addictions don't leave the house enough. If you left the house, like if you were out the house for even like a couple hours a day, like the chances of you fapping would decrease, right? But we're not talking about that today. We've already talked about that in my previous video. Today we are talking about if it comes to the point where you just cannot control yourself, it's late, at night, when you're most vulnerable to doing bad things. At night you usually indulge in degenerate habits the most. And if you do turn on that porn, try to not touch yourself. See it as a game, right? See it as a game. How long can you go without touching yourself, right? How long can you go without give it into these, whores and OnlyFans models, whatever, right? Whatever you jerk off to, that are, trying to make you release that energy, make you weak, right? Make you give them money. It's a sick industry. It's a sick industry, but it's what the world is, man. Like, it's all for the money, and I can understand it to an extent. But if you're gonna make money, at least do something like semi good for the world, not just like making men of all ages literally, right? Because there's probably like 12-year-olds that watch that stuff, man. It's disgusting. It's something I've already talked about, but it's just, disgraceful industry. Like, I feel like porn stars should have a freaking what's it called? Darn it, what's it called? When you have that thing on your record where like you're like a pedophile. Because like, think about it, right? A lot of people jerking off to porn are little kids, right? I'm getting off topic here, I'm sorry, but I just want to say this real quick. All porn stars should have sex offender, that's it. All porn stars should be freaking classed as sex offenders, because they are getting naked in front of children, right? Whether it's virtually or not, they're still getting naked for millions of kids to see, right? So it's mad. But anyways, like I was saying, see how long you can go without touching yourself, right? See it as a game. And you may think, oh, but that's even harder, not watching it in the first place, watching it and not even touching myself to it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to hear none of that. I can't do it, right? I thought, I could never escape these addictions and stuff like that. But I tried, I put in the effort, and I did, right? And it came to the point where I was like, hey, why don't I just because I'm sick of like edging and then like having pre-cum on my freaking pee-pee. So how about I just try and watch it this time without edging myself, right? I tried it and it worked, right? I was slowly, becoming less reliant on this rubbish, this degeneracy, because when you're not edging yourself, it's like you're not really getting much out of it. You're not pleasuring yourself. You're just watching it, right? So you just feel a bit weird. You feel awkward, and you honestly, the main feeling you're gonna feel is boredness. You're gonna feel bored because you're not even touching yourself. You can't even like fully enjoy it, and that's gonna make you turn off the phone, become more conscious minded, and be like, what am I doing in my life? Let me actually like let me work out, let me journal, let me go to bed, right? Just do something productive, you know. And like I said, although controversial, and you know, although you should not be watching this degenerate content in the first place, obviously it's better if you don't. But I've already said, right, before you take any of this advice in this video, go watch my last NoFap video where I talk about the first actual thing you should be doing to get over NoFap, right? This is just like a backup if like you still, I need to watch porn, you know what I mean? If you're still like that hooked on it, right? It's improvement to simply not touch yourself to it. You can watch as much of it as you want. Obviously, try to watch as less as possible, right? But watch it, but don't touch yourself, because it builds discipline. It makes you more conscious of, because when you're edging yourself, you're pleasuring yourself, right? So you're not conscious, you're enjoying the short-term pleasure. But if you're just watching it, like, if you're just doing that, right? You're more conscious, because you're not even like getting it, like you're not even like pleasuring yourself. You're not sending the freaking dopamine receptors to your head. So it's like you have more of a chance of just going, wow, I'm actually just wasting my time. I actually need to like fix my life. I need to get my life on track. You're gonna feel sad, and then it's gonna come to the point where you don't even want to touch yourself anymore, because you'd feel like even more of a loser, right? So it's just a simple thing of like not touching yourself, right? And you may say, oh, it's too hard. I don't want to hear that. Like, just try it, just do it, right? Because if I could do it, you know, especially back in the day, I was the most like undisciplined person ever. And if I've managed to overcome NoFap and be able to watch sexual content without edging, right, so can you, right? So just give it a try, and you will see improvement. You will see that, like, wow, porn really isn't all that. I actually need to go and touch a real woman. You know what I'm saying? I need to go and actually get out there, you know, start my life, you know, go outside, make friends. I need to do anything else but watch this degenerate content. So yeah, that's basically it. Just try to not touch yourself, and I promise you will make progress in your journey. If you have enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, as you know, it helps me out. And I'm trying to grow a community of young men that can all talk together, help each other, give each other advice, and just, you know, because young men are struggling out here, man, especially nowadays of, you know, all this degeneracy going on. Like, you know, it's crazy, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, as much as I wouldn't want to live back in the olden times, there were so many better things about the olden times, and now, like, lack of technology and all this and whatever. So, yeah, if you want to be part of my community, consider subscribing. And if you are still struggling with NoFap, even after these last two videos I've made, check out my mindset playlist now for more NoFap guides and tips. Last year, No Not November, I made a bunch of NoFap videos for you that I think are really good and definitely helped me out. I obviously use my own advice, right? So it definitely helped me out. So I can vouch for myself here. So yeah, thank you for watching as always. Take care and peace. Bye bye.